Morning, everybody. Here's the feedback from the Herbal Medicinal Product Committee. It is made under the French agency template, but it's a feedback from HMPC. That's my first presentation. Next slide, please. So we are currently preparing a new communication initiative for HMPC stakeholders on herbal products. Next slide. So a bit of history, why we are there. During the Slovenian presidency, we had a presentation from a national competent authority experience with a patient partner. And then the HMPC decided that it would be interesting to have the feedback direct from the patient network experience regarding herbal medicinal product use. And then under the Czech Republic presidency, which was in Malta, we had a discussion within the HMPC members on how to better communicate about herbal scientific data and safety. And then we decided at the HMPC level to include this topic in the work program in this year. Next slide, please. So more details about the national experience with a patient partner. The national competent authority policy had developed an agency openness to stakeholders to enhance the transparency of the work and wish to introduce an added value to the benefits risk assessment and the decision-making process, including patient partners, to also introduce feedback from real-life experiences and to support communication reports and dissemination of key information. What has been discussed then and the key points highlighted was identify the practices regarding the use of herbal medicinal products, how to communicate about self-medication to healthcare professionals, and how to find an official information about the risk of herbal medicinal products. Next slide. So concerning the feedback from the patient network, it was a specific patient network dedicated to chronic disease, and some concern raised was highlighted, then clarify the statute of herbal products and their labeling, because there were so many different statutes on the market, to promote the scientific information on the risk and possible drug-drug interactions, notably, to create a trustworthy and readable source of information in the official websites, to identify a specific concern in that matter for patient groups like pediatric, geriatric, for herbals. And it has been confirmed that the patient has to front the lack of knowledge or the lack of interest on herbal medicinal products, and they really wanted and need to exchange with healthcare professionals on self-medication, as they are using herbal to support and as adjuvant for conventional with conventional treatment, or as herbal medicinal product as such for treatment. Next slide. So then we had a very rich exchange within HMPC member based on the Danish carousel process. And we discussed about how to better share scientific information, how to better share the warnings and interactions we know, how also to better reach the target to give information to stakeholders, like become more friendly and accessible for patients using lay language. The national language is also a key, to give logos or colors to be more readable, to also create some templates for reports, giving general information with standard sentences, to give also the same information to patients and healthcare professionals to communicate better on safety. Next slide. So now the topic to prepare a new communication initiative for HMPC stakeholder and herbal product has been introduced in the HMPC work program this year and adopted in last January. The communication initiative is based on an important knowledge on the assessment of over 200 herbal substances or preparation that are mostly used in self-medication. And the HMPC has the wish to expand the communication to patient and consumer, and also healthcare professional on really what they need to also contribute to a safer use of HMP. The key objective of this work of this topic are to identify topic on which the external communication will focus and bring together similar initiative already set up by regulatory agency of member states. So we would like to be really pragmatic and use the feedback from what is working well, and to propose after a survey and analysis of key elements what to communicate, in which form, to whom, in also identifying the opportunities and limits for NCA on one side and HMPC EMA on the other for a possible start in next year. Next slide. So the activity for this year will be first to compare existing national initiative via a survey in order to identify the needs and experience we have within the member states, to also analyze the information collected toward a common feasible proposal for improved presentation of HMPC assessment to healthcare practitioners and patients, like a communication format and phases on safety and interaction of the recently assessed substances, for example. Also to explore achievable opportunities to publish information on the different status, the differences between the status of the products in cooperation with relevant bodies within and outside EMA, and also to select practical proposal for a patient-focused communication initiative to enhance public health and we hope better medical practice. So the idea is to present, to come back to present you a more pragmatic project before agreement on specific activities next year. Next slide. So thank you very much for your attention. We are looking forward to the next steps, and the project team is consists with all the member of the project team are Olga, she's in the room, Maria from Portugal, Erica from Swedish agency, specifically in charge of the different statuses, with Barbara and myself. Thank you very much.